Hello and welcome students to our English class standard 12th. Today we will study brainstorming of To Serve with Love. As you know, we have activity based questions in the brainstorming part. The first one is the section of character. The questions will be based on character. So first question, first activity is which one among the following is a teacher in the extract. Now four options are given there: Denham, Miss Joseph, Sapiano and Dale. So as you know the story now, you can understand that Dale Evans is the teacher, and also you have to write couple of lines in supporting of your answer. So you can see that line: when the names of the teacher of the panel were called, Mrs. Dale Evans, this name was also called. So this is given, the reason is given. Now in this question, complete the table highlighting the various traits of the major characters in the extract, which means what are the characteristics of these particular people, that is Denham, Miss Phillips, Furman, Potter. So you have to write the qualities of these people. So about Denham, as we know, he was a confident boy, courteous and critical. Miss Phillips, about Miss Phillips, she was a honest teacher, cool and smart. Furman, he was dramatic, precise and clear. Potter, Potter, he was clear, concise and intelligent. Now here is the next question. The narrator played a crucial role in bringing a significant change in the students. Explain the statement by citing, means by giving some references from the extract. So from the extract, what lines will suggest that because of which the narrator was able to bring a change in the students? What lines will show that? So here the answer is given. Go through this answer, you can get the ideas that the students were disrespectful and all that, and they harassed him, and slowly, due to his techniques and tactics, the narrator was able to bring a change in them. Next question is, Furman brought a comic relief in the Students' Council program. Now here the Furman is the same boy who was explaining about skeleton. So the skeleton was hanging and all that is explained to you in the slides. So in that explanation you can understand that he, because of all the scene that was created, the school was laughing uproariously. So this is how the answer is explained. Now the next question is, give a brief character sketch of. You have to write what are the character sketch of these different people. So these also are given to you in slides, but let us see what is the character sketch of Denham. He was the boy who was uh, attacking and arguing with the teachers regarding the PT period, and the whole explanation of him was he was a little bit adamant, but the narrator was able to convince him and he brought the change in him, and he was able to do what the narrator wanted him to do by respecting the girls by saying Miss, and also Miss Phillips had convinced him of understanding that PT period was very much important. So all these things we have to mention it in the character sketch, why, how the behavior of Denham changed. Next is Miss Joseph. Miss Joseph was the important person in the program. She sat on the stage besides Miss Florian, that is, he was the head of the school. She addressed the audience with confidence, and she was the beginner of that particular program. So this, all these things we have to write it in Miss Joseph's character sketch. Next is the narrator. Now this is the most important character in the novel, because the writer himself is the narrator. His name is Ricky Brethwaite. That is the name that is given to him. And next is his what are the characteristics, we have to write that, how he narrates his own experiences, what has happened to him in the school, how he was able to, though having no experience in teaching, how he was able to mold the students in Green Slate School. All these things we have to write it about his character, Ricky Braithwaite. Miss Dare, her contribution was that after Furman she was speaking and she spoke about the problems of humanity. She talked about sickness and diseases and the advantages gained by interchange of knowledge, advice and assistance. So these things need to be covered about Miss Dare's character. Next is Miss Phillips. Miss Phillips, what kind of teacher was she? Euphemia Phillips, that is the name. Now her cool performance has brought a lot of change in the students. She convinced Denham to accept it that his adamancy was wrong regarding the PT subject, and she convinced him that PT period included in the timetable is correct, and how he cannot force anyone to accept that what he thinks is right. Next question is compare the following characters. We have to compare Miss Joseph and Denham with reference to the like characters as well as like things about Miss Joseph and Denham, or the opposite things. We can write it both of them. Miss Phillips and Denham, how Miss Phillips was able to convince Denham. Next is Furman and Miss Dare. What are the things mentioned about them? You can write that. You can write in short points. 4 points are given. You can write only that much. Narrator and the head of the school. So you can write it about them. What are the narrator's feelings, characters, how he is convinced by the head of the school, and what but peculiar characters that are mentioned about the head of the school. So 4 points, you have to write it in short. You go through the lesson and you can understand it how to write. Now after completing the character, we come to the plot of the novel. What what are the sequence or in which the things occur, that is being asked here in this question. So arrange the incidences in the correct sequence as per the occurrences in the extract. So how, which thing comes first, what happens first, what happens after that. So A, B, C, D, all these are questions, and on the left side of it 1, 2, 3, 4 the numbers are given. So those are the answers of the sequence. You can read it and you can verify it from the extract. Next question is describe in brief the purpose of organizing the half yearly report program from the students by the students council. So I have given you the points here. Report on the studies pursued during the half year was the main aim, to build up the stage confidence of the student. That was another part of this reason why the half yearly report program was organized by the students council. So all these points you can include and write a short answer. Now write in your own words the entire half yearly report program of the students council. So how this program was organized, all these things are explained to you. You can very well go through slides and understand that. You have to write it by yourself. Describe the question answer session that took place at the end of the extract. So how the question answers were conducted and who were the teachers in the panel, and which students asked the questions. So all these things you can write it in short. Describe the discussion that took place between Miss Joseph and Denham. So what these two discussed in the question answer session, so you can write it in that particular answer. Now in this section is based on the setting part. So what the activities are, what event took place in this extract, choose the correct one, give reason to support your answer. So you have to, from the four of it, we have to find out which event has exactly taken place. The answer is half yearly report of the Students' Council on November 15th had taken place, and this is important because this showed the progress of the school, what the students have learned till the half year. Next question is, the event in the extract was held at the dash. Where was the event held? It was held in the auditorium of the school. This is the correct answer. The following lines support it. So we come to know this, that it was held in the auditorium with the line, a bell was rung at 10 a.m. and everyone trooped in the auditorium. With this we come to know where the program or where the event was held. Where has the incidence occurred in a particular place? The significance of that place in your own words. So the incidence of the Students' Council yearly program, half yearly program, was held in the auditorium. That was important because it was an important program of the school, and that is why the program was held in the auditorium. Next question is, explain how the setting of the extract contributes to the theme of the novel. So setting means why it was, the program was important, it was held in the auditorium. So all these settings were necessary because to establish the relationship between the teacher and the student, and how there were the interactions, what the narrator felt when his students were giving the contributing for that particular program, how they were handling that. So he has brought the changes in those particular students, and also how the question answer session in that, how Miss Phillips was able to convince Denham, what was the behavior of Denham, and how they were interacting with the students and the teachers interacting with each other. So it was in the auditorium that was shown in this particular novel. This section is based on the theme, and the question is, select two statements and describe the theme of the extract. So from these four statements you have to find out what are the statements that express the theme of the novel. So B and C are the uh, two options that are correct, and the narrator was anxious because he wanted to see the progress of his students, and he wanted to see his students performing well. So that was the reason why the narrator was anxious. Next question is, the relationship between the teacher and the students is the highlight in the extract. That is the main theme of this particular novel. So illustrate with suitable examples from the extract. You have to give the separate incidences that has brought forward by the narrator to show that the students' relation with the teachers was very important in this particular novel. First, you can write it about how they misbehaved with the narrator. The second part is what changes were brought in the students by the narrator. Next, you can write the relationship of Miss Phillips and Denham, how the discussions and the question answer session was shown by the narrator, and in this way you can explain it. Next question is, explain in brief the theme of the extract. So all the 3 points I have given you about the student teacher relationship, what are the changes that has brought by the narrator, about racism, you can write that. So all these things you have to mention and write the theme. Describe the atmosphere of the school described in the extract. So it was a not much uh, very specific school, it was a general school, and the atmosphere was, the students belonged to a working class family, and that is why they were not much interested in learning. So all these things you can write it and describe the atmosphere of the school. Now this is the language part of the lesson. Here explain the following statements that enrich the language and create powerful impact. What kind of language was used by the narrator while writing the novel? You have to see that what kind of language was used when Miss Phillips is transformed into a very convincing personality. Means how she is able to express herself while giving the answers to the questions asked by Denham. So the answers, the language that she has used, you have to mention that. There are many features of the language that contribute the smooth sailing of the plot. Means how the story is narrated one by one, the things are brought forward. So this you can mention what is the flow of the language, and in this way you can explain this point. Next is following are some dialogues of the major characters in the extract. Find out who the speaker is, and her tone and style, significance, and dialogues of writing that you have to explain. In the start the question is given, the dialogue is given, and in the box the answer is given. You can go through it. First one is, then they, why do we have to do PT? Why don't they take only the kids who need it? So this was said by Denham, and the explanation is given on the right side. Next is, let's say it is as much an exercise of a mind as it is of the body, Denham. So this answer is given by Miss Phillips, and the explanation is given on the right side. You can go through it and understand. So with this we have come to an end of this lesson. We have also completed the brainstorming part. In the next video we'll be learning about the new topic. Goodbye till then. Thanks for watching.
So friends, don't forget to subscribe the channel and share the video, and also to like the video. Thanks for watching.